Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Mass Effect Andromeda. Now, uh, the last time we played, I ended the stream early because it hard crashed, and I was just frustrated. I was also I've been frustrated with the performance of it. I've been frustrated with several things. So, one of the things that I did is I lowered the the bit rate on the encoding for the codec. But that's on my graphics card as opposed to on the processor, which a lot of streaming tends to go through is using the processor power. I initially tried doing the processing again, or the processor again, maxes out my CPU, which, to be frank, my CPU's maxed right now. Just trying to run. It's not even run OBS. It's because OBS. I mean, yeah, it's running it a little bit, but just this game is using half of my processing power. And I was saying earlier that, so I put the game on my a new solid state. So I was hoping that maybe that would help things here too. But if things are just slow in general, if my processor is the bottleneck, which it seems to be, I don't want to spend $400. Nor do I want to take my computer apart again, because it's a pain in the ass to get everything put into this case. And I mean, I guess in the long run, it's swapping. I don't have to pull everything out. I don't have to pull out any of the hard drives. I don't have to pull out the or the power supply. I don't have to pull out anything except for the. I would have to reattach the water cooling. Which means I would need more thermal paste and stuff like that. I don't know, man. I mean, the graphics card's not my bottleneck at this point. My graphics card's pretty good. It's a 1060. My processor is old. My processor is a 4th gen i5. Which, I mean, is okay. But it's only okay. If I bump that up to an maybe a 9th gen i7, actually, while this is loading, fuck it, I'm just going to look up some of this stuff. I was about to say, where the fuck did the window just go? Let's see, go to the local store. Let's see, what do they have on here? SKU. Oh shit, this dropped $10. Not like it really does a whole lot. Oh, right. Yeah. I forgot that this drops in price because of the fact that there's no onboard graphics in the processor itself. i7. How much are you guys? Fuck, man. i7 9th gen is almost $400 within itself. 8th gen is the cheapest one is almost $300. It's just a lower speed. But the i5, well, granted, it's rated up to 4.1 gigahertz. So, I mean, it is a quicker processor. Oh, that's turbo speed. Yeah. Okay, that's actually a lower operating speed in general. That's like 2 gigahertz. God, this sucks. What do I have? Like a 4700? i5 4700K, I think is what I have. You can't hear me. Okay. Sorry. I had the window up over chat. Is the game worth $400? No, it's not. However, the it wouldn't be just for the game. It would be for everything else. It's just gaming in general, and or streaming. Hell, I could theoretically mark it off as a business expense. Not necessarily for streaming, but for coding, which is my day job. You know what, Cam? I don't need to hear your shit. I mean, how long... Okay, this has been 7 minutes of this, and it's finally actually loaded to a point where I can do anything with it. Now I need to change the settings, because now, for whatever reason, we're in not full screen. Yeah. So what I'm thinking is going on is my processor right now is maxed. So it was taking a while to process that loading because my processor is maxed. That's the only thing I can assume is or was happening with that. Which is why I got down the road of looking at this, which is a quote for upgrading my CPU, my RAM, and my motherboard. So let's hope with the lowered bitrate that this runs better than it did before. For whatever reason, it's been running, or it ran worse than it's been running. And I'm like, that shouldn't even be happening. However, I did load, like I said, I did transfer the game over to a new solid state. So maybe it was, I thought I had loaded it from there or before. I may not have. But yeah, just this game is taking up over half of my processing right now. And OBS is taking up 17 or like 15 to 20%. And Andromeda is taking 40 to 60%. So I don't know. But now we get to wait for this again. That was just loading the fucking title screen. Was early. Now we're actually loading into the game. Andromeda's been the one that's been noticeable. I also do a little bit, if I try to stream GTA, it gets to be pretty rough. It was also rough when I was trying to stream Destiny 2. So it's been rough with some of the older, more graphically intense games. But once again, let me reiterate, it does not have this issue if I do not have OBS running and streaming. It does. Yeah, it increases the amount of resources to encode the video. So right now I'm using my graphics card as my encoder. So if I lower the bit rate on that, it's going to take some less, or it's going to take less stress on, it's going to put less stress on my graphics card. Now, if I were to use the regular, I think it's the regular encoder that OBS provides, that uses the processing power. So it does not go to the graphics card. And that is why streaming tends to be very processor intensive if you don't have a graphics card that supports that. Right now it's 3,000. It was lowered from 5,000 from not last week, 2 weeks ago. And I've been streaming at 5,000 for a while. Guys, we're almost done with this building shaders. I don't know what else there is to build because the progress bar is not super far along. Almost 15 minutes in, and we haven't even gotten to gameplay yet. We're in, guys. Nope, we're still 20.
Radiation levels increasing.
Oh, wow.
Radiation levels normal.
So what I did before, as you know, we were up, I think up there, to do one of our missions, which was to put a radio tower in. And with that, when I came down is when it hard locked. I did load back into the game. This was once again to test everything without the OBS and all the streaming software running to see if it runs better. It really does. And then I fell off the cliff again, did the exact same thing that I did before that locked it, and then saved it there. So you didn't miss anything. However, what am I in the middle of doing now? So I did that. That's done. Okay. Find Kett caches. Remnant data cores. Craft the Pathfinder chess piece, which I don't have enough platinum for. Cool. That's on hold. Gather intel on enemies. Search for memory triggers on hold. Are we? I think we're here. Oh! I done it. Let's go.
Ascent is go.
Leaving Atmo. All clear.
Yes? Do you have something to say to me?
Gil, O'Connell and Serena spent months getting our systems coordinated. You can't just strip and redesign those connections on the fly. Gil? I know you can hear me.
The whole ship can hear you. I'm just not listening.
You're fighting again?
I'm thinking the same, believe me.
Okay. First thing I'm going to do is all of the Apex stuff that I was working on over the last couple of weeks.
I'm working with Vectra to track down prosthetic gel and those other items.
Then I'll talk to everyone afterwards. Actually, you know what? Let's send some people out. Success. 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 Oh, failure. Okay. Who do we have? 66% chance. So Quebec and Victor both have 66. Yankee was 61. Oops. Strike team. Ooh. That was really not good. So we'll send Yankee out on this one. Send Quebec out on that one. We'll send Oscar, I guess, out on that one. 94. So Quebec is highest on that. Okay, Quebec is highest on this one, right? Yep. Send Quebec out on that one. We'll do Victor out on that one. Oops. We might be doing a multiplayer, I think is what I might have just selected. I don't want to do that. I wanted to send out a strike team, but I hit space one too many times. Oh, my fucking arms are on fire. So, over the last couple days, I took my motorcycle to and from work. The last couple days, the sun's been really intense, and because of that, it's been warm. So I've ridden with my vest, and not and not one of my jackets. So when you get stuck in traffic and the sun is that intense for like an hour, this happens. Like, you can see the fucking line. It is... I'm so red. So, I will be back in 2 seconds. I've got the, like, spray aloe, which, truth be told, not the best, but it's something. So while this loads in, I'm going to go spray myself. I'll be right back. It feels so much better. Just at the very least, it doesn't radiate heat as much anymore. Yeah, the sun made me a tattoo. Yep. No, I mean, I guess if you want to call it, tattooed my arm red. No, if you're wondering that, or actually wondering, that tattoo's been there for a couple years now. So all 6 of those are out. Now let's claim all the rewards. And then we get the... This fucking happened again. I believe so. I got it in, I believe, August. It wasn't last August. It would have been the August before. I love it when this game doesn't fucking work. It fucking soft locked because that overlay was on there. Like, actually, full arm tattoo, kind of like the sunburn that I have, or are you talking about the actual tattoo that I have here that is black? And people wonder why they got frustrated at Andromeda. Oh, okay. That seems like an interesting choice. I mean, it's a... Here, I'll actually just get it into camera. It's a dolphin, but kind of in the tribal design. Okay, so I'm still getting all of that. Good. Great. Fucking grand. Oh. I probably should pop that up. So now I'm going to wait till all of that stuff finishes up before I start doing some conversations, because who the fuck knows what's going to lock the game up again. Now I just get to sit here and awkwardly wait. But yeah, so like I've said before, if you're new to the game and haven't seen, I guess I have to, uh, who aren't aware why this whole thing is going on the left side of the screen, there is an app that you can download for your phone that you can do the stuff that I started doing earlier, before I actually redeemed all of these. And it basically just links up with your phone and your Origin account, and you can sit here and you can send people out on those strike missions from your phone. So if I remember to, I will sit there and send a few people out that are available if I'm just sitting at my desk at work. Takes 5 minutes to do, if that. Then wait a few hours for all of them to be done, and then do it again.
Righter.
Oh, alright, we'll talk later.
I should get back to things.
Sounds good.
Anything on the email? The Brothers McCoy. I hope have I read this one? I think I have read that one. Alright. Let's go to the loadouts, because guess what? I got some new weapons. So I have this Asari sword. What am I using here? The Mark III, Mark II. So let's use the Mark III. And then, what do I have for assault rifles? I don't like the Valkyrie all that much. But I also don't want to do... okay, let's do the Falcon? That's also not the gun that I thought it was, but... Oops. Oh. It's a scope. Interesting. Okay. Let me quickly scroll through here again. Is there anything else that I want? That's a Mark III? Don't believe so. Alright, so we'll roll with that? Ooh. See, I want to use the Black Widow, but that weight, it's so heavy, which slows down my recharge speed. Shotguns, what do we have in here? A little big boy right there. Wow, actually pretty darn accurate. No, wait, sorry, that's negative. That's a negative hit. Okay, I think we're good with that. Let me now get rid of a bunch of shit. Let's get rid of anything that is not a Mark III. Fuck, hold on. Deconstruct his axe. Or gold, I guess, in that case. Here we have a duplicate there. And a duplicate here. So that's it for pistols. Just want to mark all these as red. Assault rifles. We'll get rid of these, because like I said, I'm not a huge fan of those guns. And then we'll get rid of the silvers. In terms of the game, it's not the same, which I hate to use that reasoning, because it was always going to not be the same. There's a lot of things I have issues with, and we'll keep it at that for now, because I truly don't know much about the game. So far, based on the however many hours that I've got into it, which isn't terribly far, it is not as fun as the original Mass Effect trilogy. There's a lot of stuff to it. There's a lot of... How do I want to word this? It could have been really, really good. It's just, to me, it's missed the mark. It's missed the essence that is Mass Effect. Like, cool, you go to the Andromeda Galaxy. Great. I mean, it's someplace new. But admittedly, you don't have anyone from the team on here, which you've grown to like and be attached to. Can you open the door, please? So, I mean, that's part of it, but it's obviously not the entirety of it. And I mean, you have
Pure outpost. Finally.
a lot of the races here, but it's just kind of...
If they fail, the next
I don't know.
starves. No pressure, right?
So everything we do now relies on civilians planting vegetables.
Did I talk to you already? Or talk to everyone already?
Yes?
Yes, it looks like I did.
I'll let you get back to it.
I'll be here if you need me.
So it seems like I have to do the regular mission before I get new dialogue choices, which I kind of expected. I don't know. I guess when the game came out, I think I hoped that it was going to be
Anomaly on sensors.
a continuation of what
Anomaly found.
the end of the original Mass Effect was. But it's... Yeah, I guess so. I guess calling it a spin-off would be the best way to put it.
EOS has good instincts. Let's check it out.
Because they are in the Andromeda Galaxy while Shepard is doing his or her, depending on which one you chose, stuff in the Milky Way. However, this is 600 years later. It was 600 years after they left the Andromeda Galaxy. Sorry, the Milky Way.
Anomaly detected.
Another one.
Probe away. Getting a scan.
And I mean, there's this, which I think looks cool. It looks cool once. Which I know I can skip. I'm just showing it to you. I would rather just be loading into the next area, which I know that is. It just gives you
supplies, just like Dark suggested.
a visualization of it. But cool, so that one's done. So that system's done, that system's done, that system's done, that system's done. Time to go to the new one. Yeah, I guess it's kind of a spin-off. like, you hear things about... one of the things that happened earlier is Ryder's dad...
We're on a collision course with unknown objects.
Make corrections. Sam, are you on
Collision
this?
is imminent.
I'll stop now!
Oh, hi. Was reading Liara's notes. So there's a little bit of a connection there, but...
Kett ships. A dozen. No, more.
They've got us pinned against the Scourge.
They are scanning us, Pathfinder.
We'll scan them back!
Where is the one who activated the remnant? Their DNA signature is there. Answer me.
Alright.
I'm Ryder, captain of this ship and Pathfinder with the initiative.
You'll come with me.
They've locked navigation.
We're being steered into their ship.
Just tell me what you want.
I won't explain what you can't understand.
Ryder, I have almost regained control of the ship. I need a few more seconds.
I actually know a lot about the Remnant. We should compare notes.
Enough! Your defiance is naive and reckless. This day marks the beginning of your greatness.
Sam,
I have plotted a potential course through the Scourge.
do it!
GTFO!
Report.
Enemy destroyed. Damage to aft sensors.
Scourge got it?
Yes.
Get us out of here.
It will be tight.
Callow? Yes!
So, first question, how the fuck they get in there?
Nice work, kid.
Yeah, but who the hell was that guy?
Ryder, we've got trouble down here. You need to find us a port now.
Great. Where'd we end up anyway?
Sensors are damaged, but I think we're at the vault's coordinates.
You think? Gil, give it what you can. We're setting down.
Because you can't touch any of the Scourge or whatever the hell it's called without damaging your ship. So how the hell did they get in there at light speed?
We have to land. Open a comm.
Tov Jagalesto. Tov Jagalesto.
Listen, sorry to just show up like this, but I swear, we're the galactic good guys.
Efanola. Fahan and Gassad Regara. Efanola. They're forcing us to land.
Do it?
Then we land. Yes. Look at that. It's beautiful.
Yeah, that's
We need in that
comforting.
vault.
Please, you're not really going out there on your own.
We can't afford a repeat of last time. I'm the Pathfinder. First contact is on me.
Most important thing ever. No pressure.
If this goes badly, if I get eaten alive, even if it's hilarious, please destroy the vids.
Also, there's just something about Ryder that I'm like, you're not Shepard. Which I know is not the pay, or it's not supposed to be the situation, but...
Need me to take my shoes off?
It's the TSA, isn't it? Shit.
Hey, Hamdar goes.
Nathan Roa.
Oh, right, I did come across these guys.
I'm Paran Shai, Governor of Aya. We are the Angara.
Hello. I'm a Pathfinder with the Initiative.
Yes, you crossed dark space. I've heard of your journey, Joel. I have this in hand.
Ephra saw this ship come in and sent me to find out what's going on.
She's a human from another galaxy.
How do they know about us?
A Pathfinder.
Aya is hidden, protected. What do you want?
Sure.
We didn't know what we'd find here, to be honest. But I'm open to sharing what we know, if you are.
Honest? Honesty would be a good start. I'll inform Ephra. He'll be waiting for you in his office at the Resistance headquarters. I'll meet you there.
I will accompany you through our city. Your crew will stay on your ship. Follow me.
I understand the reasoning.
Follow closely. Do not try to explore the city or interact with anyone. Ephra's guards will use force if necessary.
Understood. Is it okay to ask you questions?
I suppose.
If you're the governor, why do I need to see this Ephra?
He's leader of the Resistance.
What's that?
They fight the Kett and protect us.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
What's happening?
We have a visitor.
This isn't safe. We should lock it.
It's
I
a little...
detect unusual levels of electrostatic energy in the Angara.
little interesting to hear them say lock it up. But we are a completely different species, so...
Am I that intimidating?
You're an outsider who invaded our home. We know nothing about you.
Except that we're human.
I'm not here to cause trouble.
Then keep moving.
How did it find us?
She, not it.
Oh, thanks.
Stop staring.
Also thanks.
None of the local flora register in my data files. We've encountered an undiscovered ecosystem.
Your city is beautiful.
Thank you. You're the first outsider to see it.
I'm honored.
I just heard back
What
there someone was like,
happens if
what
Ephra doesn't
happened?
like me?
What do we tell the
He
children?
won't. But you need to earn his trust.
He's responsible for everyone's safety. I know what that's like.
You're a leader.
Trying to be.
This is the Resistance headquarters. Ephra is waiting inside.
Alright. Glad my Omni tool works here too.
But this situation is now your fault. Don't get kicked out, Moran, not because of them.
But you're telling me to be weak.
No. I am telling you to be strong, through your cunning and heart. Okay? Hey.
It really is the best one in the Resistance.
I know.
Our experience with the Kett makes us naturally distrustful of all aliens.
I understand.
We've had our own run-ins with the Kett.
Then you really do understand. When the Archon came to Helios, he demolished our sovereign state. Took what he wanted, as if we were nothing. Now, the Kett mercilessly abduct Angara. Often, we never see our people again. Come this way. Ephra is waiting.
Wait, the Kett kidnap you? Steal your people?
And the Resistance fights them every day. With everything we can.
Is it attrition? What are they after?
You should save your questions for Ephra.
Kadara be damned. I won't lose Vold. Ephra, this is one of the aliens from the Milky Way.
Milky Way.
Pathfinder.
I enjoy the way that he said that.
It's an aggressive move coming to Aya.
It wasn't meant that way. I have an ark full of desperate people counting on me to find them a home before they starve.
Of course, I feel for you and your people. So, Pathfinder, never mind how you even found us. Why are you here?
On a hostile planet we call Eos, I explored an ancient structure, a vault, and brought it back online. It stabilized that planet's environment.
Remnant.
Maybe a little bit.
Supports that claim.
If I'm right, there's a vault on Aya that's different. I need to look inside.
You're right. There's a vault out there, but it was shut years ago and the entrance hidden. We can't help you.
The Moshai could. She's our most revered scientist and elder. She knows this vault.
But now the Kett have her, and our rescue attempts failed. She's lost to us, and you.
Does it have to be her?
There must be another way. How can I convince you? Can I offer help?
Arrogant. I don't know you, let alone trust you. Why would I want your help?
Of course.
Ephra, I feel... Ephra, what this alien says is extraordinary. The Moshai would want us to be brave.
Yeah, no, 24/7 news stations.
Joel, you talk too much.
Let me assess this, alien. I'll be your eyes. I know you can spare me.
Go if you want. But when she tries to kill you, be prepared to strike first.
I'm Jal Amaderov. I'll be your envoy through Angaran space.
Welcome aboard.
It's gonna be cozy, so I hope you like people.
I hope I don't regret this.
You're gonna regret this.
Too.
Oh, just the stereotypical awkward handshake. Just.
I've organized my analysis of Aya.
But
Shall I
do we?
relay it to the Nexus?
Definitely.
Oh, hey, look, this looks like Anthem. I wonder if they're the same developers who did Anthem and took their developers away from Andromeda to put onto Anthem. Hint, that's actually what happened, so...
Trade? Trade. Trade.
Are you asking or telling?
I'm wondering, do you exchange goods and services? How does your economy work?
We use money?
We pay for things with a currency called credits. Abstract wealth.
The Kett offered gifts, made odd bargains, never traded. What are your credits worth? What can we do with them?
You pay them to us for whatever we're selling.
Now we cut open the heart. And what do you offer?
It's negotiable.
I don't know. What do you want?
Your ship?
Not for sale.
Worth a try.
Yeah?
Is there something else I can do for you?
Yes. Call me Soka. I run cargo between Aya and other worlds. Good work. Good at it. You're here to help my people. Prove it. I need help. One of my suppliers off-world stopped checking in. Has things I need. There could be trouble.
Why me?
What makes you think I can help?
You found Aya, maybe you found my supplier. Can't hurt to ask.
Sure. Why
You're
not?
one of few people here willing to give me a chance. I'll take it.
You have a ship? I have my supplies at that point. His name is Keldo. Find him, his supplies. Come back and prove you're helpful. Then maybe we trade.
I am cool with that.
They're intruders. Look, it's the alien.
The Resistance needs volunteers. Translated from Shalesh, I guess is the language? The Kett have felt the power of the Resistance, and they know their end is coming. Our victories on Vold are only the beginning of what we could achieve, but we can't defeat the enemy without your help. If you're tired of living in fear, if you believe we were meant for something greater than slavery, if you're willing to stand up and fight, you'll find a new family in the Resistance. We'll train you to strike back at the Kett and reclaim what is ours. The Resistance defends the future of all Angara. Join us.
What's their purpose?
Excuse me while I now have to scan everything again because I forgot that that was a thing. Was that talking about the trading? Excuse me. You'd think I'd be able to scan these.
No, I will. I'm sure of it.
Oh. I couldn't remember what I said at that time. Yeah. See, it sucks. And I mean, in the end, it's good that the whole thing came out about BioWare magic, quote unquote, where they basically they were willing to make changes about everything about the game up until it needed to be shown. And then everything just kind of came together at crunch, which is not a good thing. So, at the very least, the flops of both this game and Anthem made that come to light, which is going to be good for development companies in general. It's, however, crunch, and I've resigned to this as a developer myself, not in video games for websites, but crunch happens at the, for anything that's in development. Crunch is an inevitable thing. There's always going to be things that you have to quickly wrap up or fix or whatever up until the very end, and you might have a few late days. However, a few late days is better than a month of sleeping at the office, like BioWare, I guess, was supposedly getting at. That's ridiculous. And that is what we would call developer burnout. So.
Stars above. It's you. I was hoping to get a chance to speak with you.
Yeah, why?
You left your home to cross dark space. Is it true you can never go back?
Yeah?
Yeah. This is home now.
To take such a risk and give up your old life, why did you do it?
Adventure.
I couldn't resist the adventure of a lifetime.
I know the feeling. There's a rush in taking a chance and hoping for the best.
Exactly. If you're not
My turn for a question.
mentally able to do
I
it,
get
then...
to know your name?
Oh, of course. I'm Avela Kajar, curator for the Repository of History. We study relics of our past, try to piece together what we lost in the Scourge. And the truth is, there was something I wanted to talk to you about. Pathfinder, How much do you know about our history?
Not much.
I still have a lot to learn.
Centuries ago, the Scourge targeted my people. Our ships were the first to go dark. Many of those ships went down over Havarl. The wilds of that planet are filled with history. A scientist on Havarl just contacted me with the new nav point of an intact crash site. A huge opportunity. But with Remnant patrolling the area, we can't get close enough. Not like you can.
How do you know about me and the Remnant?
I have friends in the Resistance. They heard your conversation with Ephra. I know it's a lot to ask, but you have a ship and the means to get past the Remnant. Without your help, I'm stuck.
Why me?
You're trusting your history with an outsider?
I know what people say about you, but I don't agree. I think you're here to help.
I am.
Now's your chance to prove it. You want to earn Aya's respect, right? Recovering our past will go a long way.
Does Ephra know about this?
I don't think Ephra would be too happy with this arrangement.
Ephra doesn't have to know, and if he finds out, he can direct his anger at me.
Takes guts to stand up to him.
I'd face worse to get a piece of our history back.
I'll take a look.
I've always wanted to give archaeology a try.
Oh, I was hoping you'd say that. If you find anything, I'll be here. Thank you, Pathfinder.
All right.
I am Enro Bosan, assistant to Governor Paran Shai. You're free to explore this area, but the city is off limits. Until that changes, I'll be your liaison. How may I help you, Pathfinder?
I guess that is a good thing that I was just walking around the area and not anywhere else.
Sounded like you and Jal know each other.
Our families are related.
You sound nothing alike.
We have multiple worlds. Our culture is complex.
I'd like to know more.
Earn our trust and maybe you will.
When am I allowed to visit the city again?
That's not for me to decide.
Who will? Your boss? Or Ephra?
Governor Shai has jurisdiction over Aya. She will authorize your entrance if you earn Ephra's trust. You spoke with Soko and Avela. Help them, and you may help yourself. The Kett swayed us with words. Now we judge outsiders by their actions.
I get it.
What can you tell me about your other worlds?
Life on them is hard. The people harder. Every day is a struggle to survive.
Why not bring everyone here?
We will not abandon any more worlds to the Kett. And Aya cannot support all of us.
You don't just stand here waiting to answer my questions, right?
I assist the governor in all matters. While you're here, this is my priority.
Pretty far outside your normal job, huh?
I did not begin this day expecting to speak with it. You?
Nice save.
You almost said... You almost said with the human.
Thanks for your time, Enro.
Of course.
Ryder, ship's fixed up and ready to fly.
Cool. Let's go.
Your ship is... We have nothing like it.
Wait till you see the inside.
It gets better.
Oh yeah.
You ready to go?
Let's go.
I'll introduce you to the rest of my crew.
I was hoping to.
I'm just saying, as far as first contact goes, at
I'll
least
answer
that
that after
went
this.
better than the last one.
Only slightly.
Yeah, what happened? I wanted to look around.
And now we have another mouth to feed, whatever he eats.
Did the translators not work?
They work.
I know we're improvising as we go, but let's remember that there is Pathfinder team protocol.
Don't think I got that handbook. Ryder, we followed our best lead here, and now we don't even have that.
Jal has offered to do what he can to help us access the vault on Aya.
How do we do that when we're leaving the planet it's on?
That's a fair point. Jal?
Seriously?
Settle down. Ryder's right. There's an Angara right here. Let's hear from the new guy.
One day, about 80 years ago, the Archon and the Kett arrived in Helios, and the horror began.
They declared war?
Nothing so easy to define or fight.
The Kett kidnap Angara. Their people disappear without a trace. What if they were us?
Sure, I'll fight Kett all day long, but that's no plan.
I agree. We need to get into that vault, Ryder. Surprisingly, I'm with PB. Our own mission has to take priority.
We have a plan. Kind of. Pretty solid. Jal?
The resistance is stretched thin. I was tasked with traveling to two of our worlds at our briefing this morning. And you'll accompany me.
Because?
Because then, Ephra will see you as trustworthy. You want that.
Jal's told me about these two worlds, Havarl and Vold.
Before the Scourge disaster, Vold was a thriving planet of billions. A shining center of technology and life.
And now?
It's the center of our ground war against the Kett. Our resistance base is fighting Kett Command for control of the planet.
What about the other?
Havarl is the birthplace of the Angara. It's started to degrade, to become wild and dangerous. We suspect Remnant.
Now we're talking.
We've recently lost contact with our scientists.
Still don't get how any of this helps us.
I do. Help us, or rather help me, and I'll vouch for you, right? Because Jal wants inside Aya's vault too.
Pathfinder, it's your call.
Yeah?
Don't know yet. Just be ready to go at a moment's notice. Got it?
You bet.
Jal, give Kello the nav points for both planets. Let's do this.
In regards to the intro, I was planning on having a buddy of mine do a new version of it. However, he was really busy working on what ended up being was it Quake Champions? I forget the new Quake game. He was busy doing music for that. So, yeah, he was a little busy. And he's busy doing several other things. So there is... I still want to get my own specific version, which wouldn't be exactly Triple H's theme, but something kind of along those lines mixed with Carpenter Brute. Because I kind of like that, like, cyberpunk... or cyber synth or whatever the genre you want to call it. I'm a big fan of that. I'm a big fan of how well the Motorhead song for Triple H's theme goes as an intro. So I don't know. It's a hope. Also, his shit's fucking expensive. So
how'd you resist all that tasty fruit on Aya, huh?
Check your helmet before you put it on. This scratch? He was sleeping in mine.
Alright, let's have a chat ski with everyone around here.
Still compiling my first impressions, but even their body language is so emotional. I can't wait for my first session with Jarl.
Try not to scare him away, huh?
It would be really, really cool. I think he said it was like $250 a minute. and at a minimum of 2 minutes. I'm like, but I don't want 2 minutes. I don't want a 2-minute long intro. I only want like a minute and a half. Because I think that's about how long that video is. And also, I'm like, ooh, that's expensive. I at least wanted just to know, because I'm obviously gonna pay him to do whatever it ended up being, but at $250 a minute or whatever he quoted me at, I do remember it was a lot of money. I was just like, I can't afford that, so appreciate the quote, but yeah, I can't afford that.
One hell of a trip this is turning out to be.
He did say he would work with me though, so
worlds,
it's just a matter of him getting time.
Everyone's getting toasty. There was a 2-hour argument yesterday and no one even knew how it started.
That's not good.
Luckily, I have the perfect way for people to unwind. Movie night.
Yeah, that sounds fun. Yeah, and then the processor, which would be processor, motherboard, RAM. And even theoretically, the RAM isn't necessary. I have like 20 gigs in mine right now, but I think it's all DDR3, so it's it depends on if that would be compatible with the new motherboard.
Taking a breather for a good movie? I could get behind that.
Best part is, it doesn't need to be good. Still get mileage out of the bad ones. It's worth it to jumpstart everyone's pioneer spirit and all that. The Tempest database is pretty dry. Could you download a movie library from Nexus Ops to see what I've got to work with?
5 time.
Thanks.
Sure.
Everyone will appreciate it.
Hey, can you use your Pathfinder powers to get us new movies?
Ryder?
Oh, cool. You don't have anything
I'll
new.
let you get back to it.
I'll be here if you need me.
My arms are on fire again.
So, Joel.
So?
We haven't had a chance to talk alone. You comfortable in here?
I took it. It feels strange to stay with the others. They are... you are... aliens.
I don't want to answer either of those. Because that seems way more aggressive than I think it would be. But that also is... it's the better of the two. Not exactly what I'm wanting to say either.
And you're alien to us, so there. We have something in common.
We can look at it as a place to start.
Got it.
Perhaps then, if we're all aliens, it's about what kind of alien we are.
You had no idea about us, but you signed up to help us anyway.
Perhaps it had nothing to do with you.
Care to elaborate?
I do not.
Ooh.
How do you know Moshae Sefa?
She's our greatest mind on the Remnant. I was his student.
You studied the Remnant too?
A little. I was terrible. I quit. Or she threw me out. One of those. We're still very close.
So, is that your rifle?
It is now. It's Kett, with my own modifications. I like to tinker, to get my hands on something and take it apart.
Cool, you're tech
That's
then.
a skill I know we can use. But I have one request. Please don't take apart my ship.
You're right. I signed up. Volunteered for this. It's exciting. There's something unique about you. Uneasy, raw, but somehow profound.
Face value? That sounds like a compliment. A nice one.
It is. Angara feel deeply. We have more trouble hiding our emotions than showing them. I should get back to my work.
You're interesting. What year is it? Sure, yeah, we'll go with that. However, I don't expect her to give a broski boot to any of the enemies. You're interesting.
When we have downtime, I'd love to watch you work.
Sure. I could show everyone.
No. Just us. So we can get to know each other better, or just share a hobby.
Oh, of course.
Good. Good.
I want to be broskies with you. Okay. Oh, there's no more up there. But do you have more to talk about?
Yes?
Because for whatever reason, the conversation ends, but yet there's more to talk
What's
about.
the story, Joel? Tell me about yourself.
Why?
Well, why wouldn't you? You hiding something?
Maybe. That would only make sense.
Oh, that would be hilarious if there was, for whatever reason, an Easter egg where you type in a code or something like that and she just does the fist pump. You joking?
You're messing with me, right?
Possibly. What does it mean?
Ooh, oh boy.
It's an idiom. Means you're joking, trying to make me feel uncomfortable.
Ah, then no. Ephra instructed me to be cautious. I'm not very good at being cautious. That's enough. Until we've established a better trust with each other.
I like Jal. I like him a lot. Is Cora in here? No, she's not. Also, what the fuck are you looking at? AVP, mining operations. Collect. I do not have any more points that I can use. So, next thing, actually, shit, it's not here. It's crafting is here. Development. Armor. Chest. Can I do this one yet? Fuck yes, I can! Oh shit. Ooh. Biotic recharge speed. Let's put that into there. I like my biotic stuff, so let's do a couple of the recharge, one of the damage, and then we'll also do one of the tech recharge. Yeah, let's do that. And then craft. Yeah, because I don't have any good ideas. So I crafted the Pathfinder chest piece, which is, I need to go back over here. I'm going to see if I can plop that gear on. I'll talk to you in a second. Chest armor. Oh boy. I take a hit in health, but better in shields. Sure, let's give that a shot for now. Ooh. Ooh, that's not good. We're gonna go with the whole thing. Because I don't have new parts for those two yet.
Just like Sir Kesh.
Alright. So I talked to everyone here. I'm going to actually check on the strike teams. I don't think anyone's done yet. Nope. Come over here.
Bridges 4, engine rooms aft, med bay starboard. Smart stuff up front, powers and back.
Thanks, PB.
Ah, there you are. Gotcha.
Now what?
Now that you got me, what are you gonna do with me?
Oh shit.
Wow.
Wow.
I was talking to the
Wow.
engineer. The certain thingamajig was playing hard to get. You're not hitting on me, are you?
Not very well, if you have to ask.
Hey, it's not that. It's just that I'm not into women.
That's good to know.
Ah, good to know.
Just dealing with some scourge issues. That Archon fella tried to warn you not to joyride into it, but you were just la la la. It was an act first, think later move. I respect it. Well, more like I resemble it. Hey, you play poker?
I didn't expect that either.
Poker. Card game, bluffing, betting. It's an age-old measuring stick of a person's character, fortitude, guts. Used to think maybe it was my calling. Turns out I'm just good at it. Never lost, heads up. We should play sometime.
I very much thought that was going to be more of a, a flirty, joking type of thing. Because, I mean, that the heart... So if you've never seen the game, do you see the little profile picture in the middle? It gives you different icons. The heart ones are romance or flirty options. Anything that has the arrows splitting off, that's like dialogue routes. And these tend to be, I forget exactly what they stand for, but it's ways to answer the question. Like, if I remember correctly, this one is like tactical. This one's a little more sarcastic. I believe the one up here is like friendly or something along those lines, and this one up here, which I believe has usually a gear, is like logical or something along those lines. But yeah, so I thought it was just gonna be like the more like what was even the word for it? Was it like, what are you doing, or something along those lines? But I thought it was gonna be more of the, all right, what are you doing? And then maybe go off into the flirty part from there, but not just the straight up like, now that you have me, what are you gonna do with me? I'm like, wow, that was forward. But I do love the fact that she's really awkward at flirting. Like, of main characters in games, a lot of them aren't awkward at flirting. So even if you choose the flirting option and you try to be cool about it, it can be really awkward. Yeah, you might regret it.
Willing to put your streak on the line?
Huh. I'll risk it. Next time we port up and you're in the mood, I'm always in the mood.
But now the one that I'm kind of just doing the flirting option for everyone, because I don't actually know who's into it and who's not. But like the biggest one that I'm looking at trying to flirt with is crap, I forget her name. She's the other pilot of the ship.
I did not like the look of that Archon.
Yeah, or just
Maybe
make a harem of
Angara will
everyone.
Pitch a 10 on Aya for the duration.
I assume you're kidding?
Didn't think you were the type to run from trouble.
Well, when you put it that way. All right. Next time, keep him on the line. I might have something to say.
Flirting.
I like it when you flirt. I wouldn't want you to stop.
Have I flirted with you? Don't worry, Ryder. I'm relentless. It relaxes me.
Like, that one was more blatant.
Thanks for chatting. We'll talk again later.
You know it.
And I do know from previous games that the Asari can go either way. So that also wasn't like a crazy weird thing. I mean, obviously it's more if they're into you or not. Like, it's not just because they can have sex with you that they want to. But it's not one of those things where I'm like, does this work? It does not look like there's anyone in either of these. Cora is over here.
That Archon. Arrogant son of a bitch. Maybe that's redundant for a Kett.
At least we know the enemy.
He's also the first Kett who bothered to talk to us. That's useful intel.
True. They can communicate. They just prefer to open fire. So, what else is new?
Do you have any more war stories?
Any more Commando war stories?
That's all I can share, anyway. I miss them.
How about the Ark?
How's the search for the Asari Ark going?
Nothing new. Let's stay optimistic.
All right.
See you later.
Good
Cora.
talk.
I'll be here.
Yeah, so this episode's going real long, but that's just because of all the build-up in the beginning. And technical difficulties and shit. As soon as I get done talking with everyone, that will be the end of the video. However, the people who are watching on Twitch, as usual, don't go, will be...
Your take on the Angara, old man?
Strong, honorable survivors.
Oh, there you are.
Since I encountered a new friendly species. Last time was the humans.
Oh yeah. You lived through first contact with them, didn't you?
If I recall, my exact words were, they're bold for being so squishy.
We are
they
squishy.
know they're mostly water.
Harsh. Don't let Ryder hear you.
We are very squishy, though. But yeah, like, I'm still going to be streaming for a little bit longer, but just for the video or YouTube purposes. Notes from the last fire drill. Liam's new evacuation plan cut 22 seconds off our best time. That's significant. Jack, we need a solution for your vis-a-vis ladders. You're dead because you were 2 minutes late to the evac point. I live in an escape pod. No need to panic about the drive core noises this morning. Just a stress test. There's nothing wrong with an 0500 wake-up call. Profanity deleted by Infoboard VI. You're welcome. Adjectived verbing noun skill. Jeez, that's a lot of words there. Liam, if the VI learns to censor all language, I'm making you reprogram it. Educational in a way. From Jal.
Hey.
I'm betting. Hold on.
Got
Tell me.
any stories or advice
Ooh.
to share?
Ooh, that's new.
Does a pie jack scratch its butt?
Okay, this one, sorry. Tell me more about fighting Kett.
Shoot stuff and don't die. Always works for me.
If you don't remember from a couple episodes ago, that was the only dialogue or not dialogue option. That was the only only dialogue when you select that option. And you can select it over and over and over again because he was telling you different things each time. Up until now, I've kind of ran that dialogue option, but it's still
Tell me more about fighting Kett.
That's the only
Shoot stuff and don't die. Always works for me.
And I got onto a rant with
We
that.
can talk more later.
Sure.
Petra.
Need something? Need something done?
Nope, you're good.
You probably have work to do. We can chat later.
You know where to find me.
There's no one in there. After doing enough laps in this place, you start to get the hang of it. It was kind of like how... I think I've read that before. I think it was how the Normandy was. Also, as a fun little Easter egg for people on Twitch who haven't seen it yet, because if you've seen it on... have been watching the YouTube videos, you'll know... SpaceX Easter egg with the Falcon Heavy. Which I asked some friends of mine too. I'm like, didn't this game come out before they launched the Falcon Heavy? And I believe is that the Atlas? I think that's an Atlas. Huh. So I was like, did that ever exist? I don't remember. Now time to talk to the two upstairs. Actually, three. PB's in. Oh, wait, no. We talked to PB already. PB lives in the escape pod here. Is there more to talk about, Callow?
Sam's been compiling our star charts. The other pilots on the Nexus will have plenty of new trails to follow.
You can drop the charts off the next time we're there.
Funny. A few months ago, that station was like a war zone. Flying was my only way to escape the chaos. Now it's become a haven, just as it was meant to be.
Everyone's really working to get the Nexus on its feet.
Regardless, the worst threat to the whole initiative is still that monstrosity.
You mean the Scourge?
I still see it crippling the Nexus in my memories. I had to train other pilots in hazardous flight techniques just to look for food and water. It's a cage that eats good ships and good people. Helios won't be home so long as it's a threat.
It's a huge space anomaly. It's not going away in anyone's lifetime.
If we could somehow neutralize it, or if our ships had defenses against it. Still, that's what we do, isn't it? Find a way where there is none. Just see the Nexus for proof of that.
Do you have anything else?
What can I do for you?
Yeah, you do.
If you helped to build the Tempest, you must know plenty about her.
Just about everything. By memory. It was quite the effort to get her working. The initiative needed absolutely up-to-date technology, which we all had to coordinate, and some of it was rather tricky to acquire.
Acquire?
Buy. Legally and above board, of course. Yes. Sadly, the other Pathfinder vessels were lost when the Scourge hit the Nexus. The Tempest is truly unique.
You know, I haven't actually met many Solarians.
Careful. Depending who you ask. We're conniving spies, genius researchers, or meddling scientists. We have to pack a lot of living into 40-odd years. Everything gets accelerated. Lines blur. I just hope we don't repeat our old mistakes out here.
What do you think of the rest of the crew?
Well, I can't talk about Suvi. She's sitting right there.
Suvi.
I'm not listening. You can say whatever you like.
Oh no, I'm not falling for that again.
What do you think of the rest of the crew?
I'll admit it. Gil's rather irritating. He insists on redesigning systems rather than maintaining them.
He likes to do things his way.
That doesn't make it the right way.
What do you think about the rest of the crew?
Liam's quite fun. Not many humans have that kind of energy. I probably shouldn't have told him there are secret compartments in the armory, though. He's been looking all day.
It's that same thing of like, I'm going to be clicking on this because it's going to be new answers. But why the same voice?
What do you think of the rest of the crew?
Dr. Tapero seems nice, if quiet. It must be very different here, compared to the Hyperion. Fewer people in stasis shock.
Let's keep it that way. What do you think of the rest of the crew?
Given Drax's history with Stellarians, It's probably better I just stay out of his way.
Probably a good
Too
idea.
bad. That grunion roast he makes smells delicious.
Okay. So, Elon Musk is CEO of SpaceX. Primarily, they use the Falcon rockets, which is just a single, I think they call them matchstick rockets. The Falcon Heavy, which is the one that's there, actually has 3 boosters. So it's the normal, the base of it, which separates out, and then you launch the payload into space. But it's the 2 side boosters will come off, and then the center booster will also separate when it gets into space. They have the Dragon, which is the rocket that's supposed to get people into space. However, they had some hiccups with that, so that's been delayed, which is good because you're dealing with people's lives. But yeah, it's so the one that was there is the Falcon Heavy, which is going to give a much heavier payload into space because you now have 3 boosters as opposed to 1.
What do you think of the rest of the crew?
I like PB. But I really hope she doesn't lean on the escape pod's manual release by accident.
Is that easy to do?
It's an escape pod. If it's difficult to use, you're doing it wrong.
What do you think of the rest of the crew?
Vetra's very kind. She actually got hold of some dried seaweed snacks for me. Said I needed feeding up.
What do you think of the rest of the crew?
I don't talk to Cora much. She always seems so busy. There are things I'd like to ask her about your father, but it never seems like a good time.
It's still a little soon on that, too.
What do you think of the rest of the crew?
Jal has all sorts of questions about the ship. I gave him some technical manuals. He tore right through them. I should ask him about Angaran ships. Imagine something actually designed to handle that damn scourge.
Do you remember the Saturn V rocket? Which is the one that the U.S. sent out to land on the moon. That rocket, if I remember, actually, here, let me do a quick, hopefully, because we're on the topic of it. I believe the Saturn V is the, or can provide the heaviest weight. By thrust. And by significant amounts, too. So, the best is, yeah, the best is the Saturn V, which, like I said, brought people to space, or to, not to space, to the moon. And the maximum payload for that is 260,000 pounds. That was made in the 60s. Is this the next one? No. Okay, the SLS rocket, which is currently still in development from what I'm seeing, actually will beat the Saturn V. But the Falcon Heavy, I believe, is like 3rd with a maximum payload of 140,000 pounds. So that just goes to show you something that was developed in the last few years is still like almost half of what was developed in the 60s. The problem with what happened... yeah, no, we'll go into it. The problem that I see with that is because I like space. I'm fascinated by it. The Saturn V needed all of that thrust because it needed to get out to the moon. and then deal with all of the fuel that's required to burn out of the regular orbit to get out to the moon, and then you start orbiting the moon, and then you need to burn back into Earth's orbit. So there's a lot of fuel that needs to be carried out into space that wasn't actually going to be used until way late into the mission. So it needed to have all of that weight. Now, between then and now, we haven't tried going to the moon again, really. So everything has been make it out into orbit, which is a lot easier to do with a lot less weight. So yeah, I believe that's the reasoning for it. That's my own personal thoughts. I haven't read anything that would confirm it. So that's my assumption as to why they would have stopped, or why nothing would have been topped. But like I said, there is still one that is in development that is going to top the Saturn V, which I am excited to see. I haven't played Kerbal. It looks interesting.
The rest of the crew.
But
no, if I gossip anymore, I'll get in trouble.
I couldn't help overhearing you and Gil. Sounded pretty heated.
He likes redesigning things, but the ship was built this way for a reason. I wish Gil would respect that. It's nothing to concern yourself about, really.
Tell me something else about the ship.
Her engine's based on the Ark's Odyssey drive, which got us through dark space. The core takes the static electricity it generates and stores it in capacitors. We basically make our own power supply. It took Serena and Tion weeks to get it working on a smaller ship. And a few electrical shocks.
Tell me something else about the ship.
Same dialogue.
Our aerospace engineer was Tion Ada Vasmore, a Quarian fellow.
Oh shit.
And absolutely fearless. Once, some Omega scrap dealer pulled the "we don't sell to Quarians" nonsense. Tion found a workaround.
What did he do?
Killed them.
He glued a memory foam to his environmental suit. Then, during the negotiations, leaned against the drive core he wanted, very casual. It made a perfect mold of the components, and the scrap dealer was none the wiser.
Wow.
Tell me something else about the ship.
The glass on board? It's actually a clear oxide and nanofiber compound. It bends rather than shattering.
How tough is it? We're only an arm's length away from hard vacuum.
Our testing involved 3 drunk Krogan with sledgehammers and a C-Sec battering ram. It's sturdy.
I mean, it's still... Yeah, no, it's been good having you back. Also, good conversation about random shit. So, have yourself a good night, right? Is it night where you're at?
Tell me something else about the ship.
O'Connell, our systems designer, was running a power distribution model, how power moves through the ship. But he forgot to lock his terminal, and we,
So it's night.
added a few embellishments. For 2 days, poor O'Connell was convinced that turning on all the bathroom lights would overload the engine core.
So have yourself a good rest of your night, and hopefully see you again. So...
Tell me something else about the ship.
I'm all out of stories for now. Sorry.
Disappointed.
You'll have to make some new ones.
I'll let you concentrate.
You know where I'll be.
Suvi, I want to talk.
We might have a problem.
Oh, okay. I don't want to talk anymore.
Balances and such. The Tempest is carrying about 70 kilos of extra mass. I think something's aboard that doesn't belong.
70 kilos is enough mass for another person.
Our internal sensors aren't getting anything, but they're not as powerful as a Pathfinder's scanner. Can you take a look?
Yeah.
All right. I'll look around the ship and see what I can find.
I will do that on the next episode. Oh, I have the console running. There we go. I'm like, fucking, why isn't it? Oh, because I accidentally hit the tilde key. So, for those of you who are watching on YouTube, sorry about the long episode, but I wanted to at least get like an hour's worth of content into the video. So hopefully the beginning you fast forwarded through a lot of it. Maybe not. I mean, there was some talk about random stuff. But for those of you watching on YouTube, thank you all so much for watching. I'm Blurry Phoenix, and game on.